Welcome to Soul Searching Sundays in the least religious way possible, where we ruminate, we speculate, we meditate about our lives and ourselves, and we ask ourselves, what the fuck are we doing with our lives? Today's soul searching episode that nobody asked for is coming to terms with being an accidental American. And I know what you're thinking. I'm born in a small town with big dreams of being a global citizen instead of a regular Dairy Queen. Or perhaps I went backpacking through Europe and returned yearning for beautiful scenery instead of vast amounts of parking lots that greeted me. I'm here to give you a different perspective. While the United States has issued my passport since birth, I've only lived in this country for about a handful of years, and I have never felt less American in my life. I understand that every story needs context, so you can follow along and understand where it is that I'm coming from. My mom and my dad totally fell in love for 2 minutes while stationed in Germany for the US Army, and they had my brother and me, and then couldn't agree on anything but divorce. So I got 2 last names, and I got to live amongst the Deutsches. We were living on base, and then when my dad was I gotta go, I got things to do. We packed our things and left the military base. So we were living in this American bubble, if you will, a barbed wired American bubble, void of any color. It was very beige, very, very beige. And yeah, and that is how I was born and raised in Germany. So now you have context and you understand my life. Looking a little rough this Sunday, but that's what you get for styling your hair with the excess lotion from your hands. Anywho, so I lived in this weird world of 1 foot in German culture, 1 foot in American culture, and never really fully immersing into either one until my 20s, where I kind of immersed myself into German culture and cut ties with the U.S. military and my access to American things or whatever, and I still didn't feel less American than I do now, which is, it felt like my Americanness was on display when I left my American bubble, and I got to actually fully integrate into American culture in my 30s, which my mother had warned me about. She said that she believed that I would be in culture shock of my own culture. And you know what they say, your mother is always right. And she was not wrong. It's my personal belief that the shock is just now wearing off. No one ever said that I wasn't German enough for the Germans and they were like, Rauschlampe, you gots to go. Nobody kicked me out of the country. It was a decision I agreed on that I wasn't in love with. And I guess I should say the quiet part out loud is that I didn't need to move to the United States to know that I didn't want to live in the United States. And as an American growing up in a foreign country my entire life, the Americans that I came in contact with would tell me that to take several seats on my opinions about what it's like to live in the United States, since I had not experienced that. And, fair enough. So I, would often take a seat or several about commenting on what it must be like to live in the United States or what it's like to live in the United States. And quite frankly, after the 4 years of being here, going on 5, I don't think that my opinion about United States is any different than it was before. Yeah. And when I first arrived here, I thought, okay, the reason why this is not my vibe, if you will, is because I'm accustomed to something else. I'm accustomed to the European way of life, not just the German life, but I traveled, and the United States is not something that I am particularly used to. And there is a laundry list of things that I could go through and just call out as to my reasons why I don't feel like an American, or that not that I don't feel like I'm in the wrong country. I was given the wrong citizenship. And how I see it is that, like, while I'm legally American, I am culturally German and European at heart. That's just the way I feel about it. And I, you know, in these 4 years, I've really thought about all of the things, and I think this will be a series that nobody asked for, but something that I can use to get things off my chest. The thing that probably sticks out the most in my mind is the food culture, or lack thereof, in the United States. And I think it is also is like a really great example of like the values and the humanity of a culture. And hear me out. And I thought moving to New York would maybe change the way that I felt about things, or that like it would be much more comfortable, much more. I just thought it would have culture. I thought it would be a little bit more, have a little bit more to give than the South, Roanoke, Virginia. Like, the list is endless of things that I can tell you that like I just don't enjoy the United States. And it's not that I hate this country. And I mean, I do mutter that under my breath, but it's like hate to me is like, it's a word like and or the. I throw it out there, but I rarely mean it. It's just like I love a lot of things, but really, do I? No. Most things are known as to why like America like sucks, or that like Europe is better, or whatever, like the healthcare and quality of life and humanity. And cleanliness, and like I just don't understand why Americans want to live in filth. Like I just don't get it. Everywhere you look, doesn't matter where you go, and it's only in like the rich neighborhoods that like they've paid people to pick up after them, because like nobody in America wants to pick up after themselves. I'm not sure. Like I see it constantly, people just littering. But I digress, because I'll be on that topic forever. But there's a laundry list of things that I don't care for in the United States. And for time constraints and, you know, holding an audience, I'm gonna keep it to one thing: food. I miss it. I miss the taste of it. I miss the texture of it, because the things y'all are hawking at the store are not what they say they are. Like Cracker Barrel and Kraft are not your friends. Like, that is not cheese. That is not cheese. I digress. Got me all flustered and then fucked up my fringe that I shouldn't have done in the first place. But I make bad life decisions, obviously. Poor choices. Okay. I'll never do this again. Fringe is never a good idea. Fringe is not your friend either. Anywho, the first like couple of days that we showed up here, we went to the grocery store to just get some like necessities. I just wanted to get some crackers to go with my cheese, because it'd been a long time since I had some Monterey Jack cheese. They don't have that in Germany. And I was quite excited about all these American products that I grew up on, that I hadn't had access to in quite some time. And it's just like, I don't know, comfort food. Been through a lot. My mother died. I left the country. The only country I've ever known is home. I gave up a beautiful apartment that I was absolutely in love with. Again, my mother died, and my world had been turned upside down, and I was living in the South, which felt like my own personal hell. And I just wanted some Monterey Jack cheese and some crackers, just some simple crackers, to slap that Monterey Jack cheese on and go about my life. No, I was in the aisle for 20 minutes, overwhelmed at the selection of biscuits, of crackers. Ridiculous amounts of food for no reason. Like, you don't need that many varieties of crackers. Every flavor seasoning needs to be infused into a cracker. I don't need a cracker to taste like chicken in a biscuit. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And I was overwhelmed, and I couldn't pick crackers. Like, that's too much for me. The amount the size, because everything comes in like you're feeding a family of 20. And the food, if you, like, I have never spent so much time in a grocery store because I'm sitting there reading the labels because none of it is identifying as food. And these are the things that I read about and I watch documentaries about, and things is like the preservatives, the chemicals, the stuff in American food is banned in other countries. It's like Americans have no problem with serving their children a bowl of cancer every morning. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And it's just everything. A chicken breast is bigger than it should be. Milk doesn't taste right. Tomatoes don't taste like they should. I mean, I had an apple yesterday that tastes like absolutely nothing but had the texture of rubber. Like the cheese, again, is not. And I've actually seen on the shelf at many grocery stores cheese in a can. Cheese in a can that can be, that is like either open with a can opener or you squeeze it out through. I will never eat canned cheese unless there is a war or a famine. You go to a restaurant, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Olive Garden, Red Lobster, this TGI Fridays, whatever these are not restaurants, and it's like nails on a chalkboard when people refer to these as restaurants. They're not. They are not. They are fast. It is microwavable food that comes in little packets. That's why it's consistently the same wherever you go. They heat it up and then they serve it to you on a plate. It is alarmingly too quick, the arrival of food after you've ordered it. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's questionable and it makes me uncomfortable. And everybody's like, oh great, the food's here. Like, we ordered it 10 minutes ago and you're gonna tell me that this was cooked for me, that this was prepared for me? No, it's like, what are we doing here? And then the fast food, like, I will never understand where the joy of food flying out of a window into my car window for me to drive around to a parking lot to eat is enjoying a culinary experience. Like, I understand you're like on a road trip or like it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you just got out of the club. Like, I get it, but like, people are like, oh, it's so good, it's so good. I've seen them eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In Roanoke, people eat Bojangles in the morning, Chick-fil-A in the afternoon, and like Roadhouse in the evening. It's like, and you wonder why diabetes is an issue. You wonder why obesity is an issue. You wonder why, like, health issues is an issue. Like, hello, it's poison. It's microwavable food. It's so disrespectful to food culture here that it's like, I don't even know what we're doing. I miss like the celebration of seasonal food. You go to a restaurant, a real restaurant, and they've made a seasonal menu because this is what's in season right now. This is what's best to eat right now. Yes, we have like the normal menu of like just whatever, but like here, let's celebrate the season. There's like whole festivals that are dedicated to this. And I'm not talking about these like the food festivals that like they have no place to sit. Everything is just fried. No, the food festivals here, I don't care for them. I've been to a few in different states. Nothing's rocked my world. It's really just a disrespect for food. It should not cost minimum wage to get a fresh loaf of bread. Like, they call it artisan bread here, and it's like daylight robbery. $20 for a bread made from simple basic products. And in Germany, this would be daylight robbery. Let me tell you what they're hawking over here for $20, you can get for like $6 and maybe less in a small town, you know, like this is ridiculous to me. This on a Whole Foods is your whole paycheck for clean food or like good cheese, and it's still just like mediocre at best. It should not be a luxury to eat well. It should not be a luxury to eat clean, healthy food. But apparently in America, you have to be rich. You have to be rich in order to sustain and get the nutrients that you want. Because it feels like nutrients is illegal in this country. It feels like it's a bad thing and that it must be eradicated. it's hard to find. It's really hard to find. Back to restaurants, it's just intrusive, it's aggressive, it's constant, like, what do you need, what do you want, and like, yes, if you see my drink low, like, please do ask me if I need a refill. But it's that people's survival is based on what they get for tips, and Americans get on a power trip when they are the ones paying for a service. They think that whoever has the money has the power, and you just act like fools. They act like absolute fools. They are just so rude and so dismissive and so like, like, you better do that for me. It doesn't even need to be a hiccup or an altercation or nothing. Off the jump, they are like angry, they are dismissive, they are rude, they are nasty, because they are paying for you to jump over backwards for them. And it's so weird. It happens in retail as well, and it's just that someone can kill them with kindness and as a server, and they are still just like digging it into them to make sure that they know that they're the ones holding all the power, and they better dance, monkey dance. And it's sick. It's real sick. And I feel for the servers, but I'd really like them to back off, because I like to enjoy my pasta and my wine and not be like, what do you need? What do you want? And then it's once they see, like, once you put your fork down from clear, but they're over there swooping it up, and they're like, coffee, if that's even a thing, but dessert. They want to get more money out of you, and you have patrons in the corner like glaring at you because they want to get in that seat, and it's all about money. It's all about turnover. It's nothing about like experience. It's not about like enjoying life. It's not about quality. It's cheap over excellence, quick over quality. It's just like, it blows my mind. There are few pleasures in this world. Few pleasures, simple pleasures, and food being one of them. Like, Americans will condense a meal into something that they can like drink or eat on the run in a candy bar stick thing, whatever, to fill them up for till the next whatever meal. It's like, who wants to live like that? Like, I don't understand. It's like, I don't want to drink a meal unless it's like, we're having a liquid brunch, like, mimosas for everybody, but like, we're drinking shakes to like not enjoy food and then to keep us full until like we have the time to sit down and enjoy something. It's wild to me. And there's no healthy options, quick healthy options on the go. It's just, there's no respect or like appreciation for food, and I think it says a lot about a culture, and I mean, what they think about life, like what they think about humanity. Like, it's sad. It's super sad. And I miss food, and it's one of the things that makes me the most homesick is like sitting down and looking at my meal, like, or just the options in the grocery store, and it's like nothing calls to me. I can't remember the last time that I really walked, and we've been to some really nice places, and I've never walked away being like high on life from a gorgeous meal, wonderful atmosphere, like all of that. And dining is just like, Americans they don't understand. They've lost the plot. I don't know. Europeans just like, they know how to do it, and they know how to do it well, just better. Just, yeah. Like, I don't want to see meatloaf on the menu. Like, and fried pickles it's getting on my last nerve. And I know that might sound petty to you, or to a lot of people, that that would be one of the reasons why I feel like an accidental American. And like I said, there are so many things as to why I feel the way I do, but I thought this would be a good place to start. It is the culture around the food that really makes me miss home. And it sounds crazy with a girl with an American accent saying that she misses home while she's living in the United States, but that is the truth. It didn't dawn on me how important food culture is to me until I started living in the United States and like living in a food desert, not having access to fresh food and good food, and even the things on the menu doesn't appeal to me most of the time. And I've just really yearned for food in a way that I never have lived or never did living in Germany. And it is something that I don't believe I can ever get used to. I haven't gotten used to, and it's something that weighs heavy on my mind every single day. And that is why I picked it as the first topic of how I know this is not the country that I'm supposed to be living in, and because it does not provide me the quality of life that have come accustomed to living in Europe. I try my hardest to eat well and avoid the ultra processed foods here, but it is hard. It is super difficult. It's stressful, it's overwhelming. There's too much garbage in the food and it makes me feel like shit. And I have never felt so awful inside my own body physically as I do with the diet here. So I've really tried to be conscious and make good choices, but it is hard in this country. I consider good quality of life having access to good food, eating well. That's why I'm for sure that I'm an accidental American. Beginning of my series of the accidental American living in America for the very first time. Because like I said, mama needs a creative outlet and corporate America is not giving of much. So we've got to do something.